Hey YouTube, welcome back to my channel. This is Canadian Retro. I've got another pickups video for you here. I actually have to break this into a couple parts just because it's really long. This stuff came from a variety of different days, so we'll get started with some of the stuff that I found in previous days. I just never got around to actually making a video for this, so I'll get through this stuff, and then the next video I'll actually show will be the stuff that I picked up for the most part today. So let's get started though on the stuff that I found in previous days here. The first thing I want to show you, I got on a half price day from a Goodwill, and pretty happy to pick this stuff up, that's for sure. A lot of interesting titles I wanted to get into my collection. A couple I didn't really know a whole lot about, but still, that's pretty awesome. First one here is Ready to Rumble Boxing. This is something I definitely knew about because I played this back in the day on the PlayStation. Didn't have this in my collection, so really happy to actually get this copy of it, that's for sure. This one here is complete as well. It just has like some stickers and stuff on the inside, but I can clean that off, no problem. The disc, on the other hand, is extremely dirty, so I'll have to clean that, but it looks fairly decent. It looks like it may have been resurfaced before, but not a big deal. For that one there, I paid $2.50. Definitely a nice little find for sure. Moving on from that, at the same time on half price day I found Woody Woodpecker for the PlayStation 2. Don't know a whole lot about this title. It looks like a platformer, but it's Woody Woodpecker, so I said why not. And this one here, I know for a fact the disc is fairly scratched up, but I can resurface that, so that's why I got the machine for things that I want to check out and things like that. So $2.50 for that, pretty awesome find, I think. Moving on, I also picked up Hot Wheels Beat That for the PlayStation 2. Now this one here, its case is really cracked up, but I thought I'd go on this one just because I really enjoyed the Hot Wheels games on the PlayStation, never played them on the PlayStation 2, and thought this might be a really interesting, fun game. It looks like a ton of fun on the back, kind of looks like a kart racer sort of idea, but with Hot Wheels. So sort of fun. I'll have to check it out and see what I think about it. The disc is kind of dirty and for the most part fairly scratched up, but again, resurfacing, that's what it's all about with some of these things. But still, for $2.50, I thought that was a good find as well. Also at the same Goodwill, I also found a Wii game, which is Manhunt 2. Didn't have this in the collection. I'm really trying to get a lot of the mature titles for the Wii. I know it's not known for that. It's known, Wii and Nintendo and stuff like that is known as a kiddie system and things like that. But there are some seriously like adult kind of games on it with mature content. This one here is mature as well. So, you know, Manhunt 2 on the Wii, pretty cool. This one unfortunately is not complete, so I'll be looking for a manual for this, but at the same time the disc is not too bad at all. It's got a few fingerprints and stuff, but hey, that's easy to clean off, that's no problem. That one there was $4, so it's half price of that, so $2. So pretty interesting find there. This had actually sat there for quite some time, nobody bought it. Not a super valuable game, but like I said, I'm trying to get the mature content ones on the Wii, and for $2 I'm not going to turn down something like that. Moving on, I walked into a Value Village and I found a couple of titles. Now this Value Village has been overpricing all their cartridge games and things like that for the longest time, but they actually price their PS2 stuff. The prices have gone down. They used to have them around $5.99, $6.99. Now they're back down to $3.99, which is awesome. So I picked up a couple of titles to show my appreciation to the Value Village for doing that, and that's Onimusha Demon Siege. And this one here, it's Onimusha 3 rather. And I think, and I'm not an expert in Onimusha games or PlayStation 2 to tell you the truth, but this one here is in great shape. But I think there were a number of Onimusha games on it. Obviously there were at least 3, and this is the 3rd one. I have the other 2. I don't know if there's more than that on the PlayStation 2. You guys can let me know, but if not, that completes my Onimusha part of that collection. So I've got the 3rd one there that I can add with the other 2. And then for $3.99 as well, I picked up Space Channel 5 Special Edition. I remember this game on the Sega Dreamcast, so this is really cool to be able to pick this guy up for, you know, the $4 that I paid for it. Pretty cool. It has everything in there it needs. It's totally complete and in great shape. Maybe a little bit of flaws with the manual, but nothing major, like one little nick in it, and that's about it. And has both discs, and I'll just show disc condition on one of them, but it's basically the same as the other game that I just showed you. It's pretty much flawless, so this is in really great shape here. Thought I would check it out because I do remember that on the Dreamcast. Didn't even know it came out for PlayStation 2 because I didn't have a PlayStation 2 back in the day, so that's pretty cool right there. Moving on from that, I also stopped in at the same Value Village on a different day. I only found one item that day, and it was this N64 controller. The joystick on this is reasonable. I'm sure it works, but it's not that great. So this one here, I should be able to replace that joystick on it and get this up and running, because I do have a couple of broken N64 controllers which become parts controllers. I should be able to replace that part on it, and away we go. The casing on it, somebody's actually carved an M into the top of it here, which was, I just hate when people do stuff like that to these things. But again, I do have donors that I can get the casing from. Hopefully the innards work, and then I can get a working controller out of all the bits and bobs that I have for N64 controllers, because I actually don't have, except for this one, a N64 controller right now that I can bundle with systems and things like that I want to sell, so that helps me out a lot in that regard. Moving on, along with the controller thing, I stopped in at a Goodwill the other day, and they were having a sort of surprise half price kind of thing going on, so I ended up picking up this GameCube controller. Now this is really beat up, but again, this is going to be a parts controller. I don't have a GameCube controller that's 4 parts right now, so this is going to be really my parts one. The casing on it's like all scratched up kind of thing. One of the joysticks is like missing its button or whatever on it, so, and this one down here is a little bit worn and things like that. So still, if it works internally and stuff like that, that's going to be great, because I have controllers, I'm sure, in the future that won't work, and I can get parts off of this one. For that there, I paid $3, so pretty cool find. I also found, and this is kind of weird, I didn't mention this before, this was the same place that I picked up the Ready to Rumble boxing and all that. I picked up a Nintendo 64 35mm camera. I'll never use this, obviously. I'm not going to use this kind of film. It's not in the world's greatest shape. It's a little bit scratched up and stuff like that, but still an interesting item nonetheless, and I thought that's pretty cool thing to find out in the wild there. For that, I paid $3, and I was happy to do that. That's not a big deal. I'm sure you can find these probably for like $5 or $6 though on eBay, but still cool nonetheless. Sticking along the same line, since these things aren't really games, something that I definitely needed, because I do have a system that, you know, the controller can kind of go with, but I also needed this, which is a, you know, AV cord. For that, it was half price day today, so I picked this up actually today. It was half price day today, so it was $1. It's half price on everything in the store because it's the last Friday of the month. It's the way that works at the particular Goodwill. And then moving on, I also went into a Leas recently, and here are the games that I picked out from the Leas. They're all for the original Xbox. I love collecting for the original Xbox, and some of these, or at least one of these, is going to be replacing a GameCube game that I have. It's the same game, so that's pretty awesome. So the first one here is Army Men Sarge's War, and I love Army Men games. I have this on the GameCube. I really wanted it on the Xbox, so I did find it. It was $5, but I thought it was a pretty good deal. I was able to use, because I bought 5 games, I was able to use my $5 off card, so essentially you could consider either one of these games free, or basically like paying $4 and change for each game. So that's pretty cool right there. It's totally complete, otherwise I probably wouldn't have picked it up, just because it's not super valuable or anything like that, but still something I wanted to get in my collection, and I'll be able to trade off my GameCube version of this game, which is something that I would like to do because I love the original Xbox a lot more. Moving on, I also picked up Silent Hill 2 Restless Dreams. This one's also complete, and love Silent Hill games. Again, I really enjoyed the first one. I didn't have this in my collection. I thought I actually did when I bought it, and I thought this was going to be something that I could trade off or something like that, but I didn't have this, so I'm really happy to get this. I'm trying to figure out why I thought I had this. Maybe because there's a Silent Hill 2 on PlayStation 2. I'm not sure if I have that one or something, but I could have swore I had this game, but I guess I didn't. So that's a great addition to the collection. Again, that was a $5 game. Also, Sid Meier's Pirates. I didn't have this in my collection either, so that's pretty awesome. Never really played these pirate games, but I'm willing to check them out, and that's wicked. The disc's in not too bad a shape as well, so again, $5 for that one. Wasn't going to leave that one behind just because I hadn't seen it before out in the wild. Something that I did see out in the wild is this before, but I had to get something to use my $5 off card and basically get something for free, so this is something I threw into the pile. Not because it's not a cool game or anything like that, it's just that I already had it in my collection, and it's Crash Bandicoot, The Wrath of Cortex. Like I said, I had this in my collection already, so still cool though, because it's totally complete. And the disc needs to be clean and stuff because it's kind of dirty, but those scuffs on there are actually just dirt. Need to be cleaned off of it. But again, that's a $5 game, so that's pretty fun right there. And then the last one, and I have multiple copies of this game. I'm going to have to go on a selling spree or something like that to not get rid of them necessarily. It's just I don't need so many copies of one game. And this game is Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic. And this one here is a not for resale version, which is kind of interesting. It's also missing its manual, which is unfortunate, but that's the way it goes. Disc is like the other one's dirty, but just needs to be cleaned. It's not too bad. There's a few scratches, but they're really light on there, so probably won't need any doctoring or anything like that. But pretty good to go. So that there was the part of the $5 bundle. So basically like $4 and change for that title as well. So that's everything that I'm going to show you in this video. I'm actually going to be uploading 2 videos back to back here because I did find some more stuff, but I wanted to break it up a little bit just because I had accidentally stockpiled a few things from previous days, and I wanted to kind of get that out of the way so I could show you today's finds. So thanks again for watching. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do feel free to thumbs up this video, comment down below, and I will see you all later.